Hi guys, this is Nathan Wallace BAY BAY in the house, and I'm going to be covering two events, and this, the first one, this Saturday, will be Day 1, WWE's Day 1 pay-per-view in Atlanta, and the other, before that, is his Final Conflict 2021 in St. Louis. And Final Conflict 2022 does feature the 16-person tournament. And we're going to have 3 qualifying matches to determine the final 3 spots for the tournament. First, Kimono Wanalea versus Lord Steven Regal. First match of the early bird prelims. Lord Steven Regal, accompanied by Jeeves, and his attendant, Sir William. Kimono Wanalea, accompanied by Beulah. Next, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Tarzan Goto, FMW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then, Benjamin Sisko versus Emmett Burkowski to determine the final spot of the tournament. Now imagine, if one of those 6 were to win a qualifying match, and go on and become the 2021 Chaos Tournament World Champion, they will have to participate but win 5 matches for a time span of more than 4 total hours. That is almost humanly impossible. 5 matches in 4 total hours. And we proceed on from Nate's Wow Network pay-per-view. Nate's Wow Network pay-per-view preview show. Los Lotharios in Lucha Libre tag action. Lacey Evans in Power and Glory in Lucha Libre tag team action. In the pay-per-view buy-in kickoff show, the Survivor Series grand finale match of Survival, Roman Reigns, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Becky Lynch, RK Bro, Omos, Bianca Belair, and Seth Rollins. And for the Next Gen Championship, Malachi Reimer will defend his championship against the member of the artist formerly known as Prince New Music Power Revolution. Masquerita Sagrada Jr. and Max Mini versus Tarantula and El Torito in the only match on the weekly Wallace special pay-per-view final countdown show. And this star-studded card begins with the bragging rights tag team matches. Team Pro Wrestling Noah and Independent Union joining forces. Representing Independent Union, Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers, along with Wyndham and Bradshaw, the New Blackjacks. Teaming up with 4 representatives of Pro Wrestling Noah: Kaito Kiyomiya, Keiji Muto, Kazuhiko Nakajima, and Go Shiozaki. They will meet Team All Elite Wrestling, the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Rebel Not Reba, Jamie Hayter, Orange Cassidy, and Riho. And then the second bragging rights tag team match, 7-on-7. It is Team Southern Justice, the Godwins, the New Age Outlaws, Ohio versus Everything and Trevor Lee, facing Impact Wrestling's digital media division, captained by its champion, Jordan Grace. along with John Schuyler, Rachel Ellering, Matthew Raywalt, Alicia Edwards, Jake Something, and Chelsea Green. And those bragging rights tag team matchups are going to be like Survivor Series matchups. It'll continue until one entire team has been completely eliminated, completely out of the equation, and the survivors of the team will win the match and will go on to the grand finale match of survival. And then we'll proceed on from there to the first round of the Chaos Tournament. Carolina Dean will meet the winner of the matchup between Kimono Wanderlei and Lord Steven Regal. And Debbie Dunning. She's Anastasia Honesty, one of the favorites in the tournament, against Nico Minoru from Runaways. And Debbie Dunning. She will meet the winner of the matchup between Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Tarzan Goto. Excuse me, the winner, Debbie Dunning, will meet the winner of the Benjamin Sisko versus Emmett Burkowski match. Wildstyle versus Draws. Griff Tannen versus Jenna Vanoy. Captain Ben Anderson. And will take on the winner of, the Hiroshi Tanahashi match. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Tarzan Goto match. Joe Montana versus Allison Vernon Williams from Crybaby in 1990. Petey Williams of Impact Wrestling versus Doug Williams of the Washington Redskins. And now known as the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins. And that is your first round matchups of the tournament. And now back to the bragging rights matches. The Truth Commission. It is 10 versus 10. Who will be the two mystery partners? As Raquel Gonzalez, Cora Jade, Kay Lee Ray, and Io Shirai, Indy Hartwell, and Persia Pirotta joins forces with Gudra and the Guardian Angel, along with two mystery partners yet to be determined against the Truth Commission. And Sergeant Slaughter, General Adnan, Colonel Mustafa, Jackal, Recon, Sniper, the Interrogator, Boris Zhukov, Sato, and Tanaka. And then, Disciples of Apocalypse, the DOA, Crush, Chains, Skull, and 8-Ball, joining forces with three New Japan representatives. First, the current reigning and defending regular IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Shingo Takagi, the interim IWGP Heavyweight Champ Kazuchika Okada, and linear IWGP World Heavyweight Champ Will Ospreay, joining forces also with Usagi Tokino, otherwise known as Sailor Moon, and they will be taking on Impact Wrestling. Rosemary, Knockouts World Champion Mickie James, Rohit Raju, VSK, Zicky Dice, Matt Cardona, W. Morrissey, and Impact World Champion Moose. And then we proceed on from there to the Triple Crown X Division Championship, which begins the question: what is the artist formerly known as Prince's real desire? Is it the Triple Crown X Division Championship? Is it May's desire for the women's title that Chris possesses? Yeah, it'll be a double header as the artist formerly known as Prince goes after the Triple Crown X Division Championship when he takes on the champion, Ken Norton Jr. of the San Francisco 49ers. And his partner, Mate, will be going after the GFW women's title as she takes on the champion and Chris Carrillo from Wildfire. And then, in one of the big matchups, the gruesome fighting match between Allie versus Iceman King Parsons. This match brought to you by Billy Billy. And because of violations of the 3 strikes policy, and because of repeated attacks on Greg Pearson by Iceman and his crew, Witch Doctor Baboose, Billy James, and Brandon Baxter will be put into a square shark cage and will be elevated above the rafters of the Edward Jones TWA Dome. They'll be unable to interfere in any way, in any capacity. And if Allie defeats Iceman King Parsons and he incapacitates Iceman King Parsons for very long, then Baboose, Billy James, and Brandon Baxter will have to get into the gruesome cage and face Allie for 5 minutes. We proceed on from there to quarterfinal action of the Chaos Tournament, and proceed on from there to the third half of the Bragging Rights Tilts. This one featuring Friday Night SmackDown. As Sasha Banks, Xia Li, Aaliyah, Toni Storm, Rick Boogs, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Rick Boogs, the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, and the Usos will be taking on the combination. Don't forget Naomi, Sasha Banks, Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, Rick Boogs, Naomi, Aaliyah, Xia Li, Toni Storm, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, will be taking on Team USA. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Kerry Von Erich the Texas Tornado, the artist formerly known as Goldust, Jake the Snake Roberts, the Stalker, Marvelous Mark Merrow, Marty Jannetty, Steve Blackman, and Vader. And then the second of the Team SmackDown matches in the Bragging Rights. As it is a 9 versus 9 match, as the second half of Team SmackDown will be taking on Team Canada. As Drew McIntyre, Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sonya Deville, King Xavier Woods, Happy Corbin, Sheamus, Madcap Moss, Sir Kofi, and the Universal Champion himself, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, will be taking on Team Canada. The British Bulldog from Manchester, England, Doug Furness from Mickey Mantle's hometown of Commerce, Oklahoma, Jimmy Anvil Neidhart from Reno, Nevada. Lee Cassidy from the state of Euphoria. Razor Ramon number 2, formerly from Miami, Florida, now seeking sanctuary in the Conch Republic. Diesel number 2, formerly from Detroit, Michigan, now living in Sault de Ste. Marie on the U.S.-Canadian border. The Quebecers from Montreal, from the province of Quebec, and Phil Lafon from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The Quebecers and Phil Lafon from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And proceed on from there to a personal turf war between Eddie Edwards and Switchblade Jay White. It is Bullet Club against Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards is a lone soldier fighting a battle against the Bullet Club. Now, will Eddie Edwards get the Boston Knee Party and go crazy with Kenny the Kendo Stick? Or will Switchblade Jay White lay the Blade Runner? And proceed on from there to for the right to go face the global champion in 2 days' time. Johnny Impact versus Skull Deep. The winner will get a global championship match at day 1 in Atlanta. And then we present Tegan Knox versus Penelope Ford in a Kiss My Foot match. That means somebody will have to kiss the foot of the winner. And we proceed on from there to a match brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. And this match is for the GFW Tag Team Championship, the newly crowned champions. And Shin Kazuma-Suri and his girlfriend Ayatsuko will defend their championships against the challengers and Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, The Inspiration, Jessica Kay and Cassie Lee. Ever since winning the Knockouts World Tag Team titles at Bound for Glory, they've been on a hot streak, The Inspiration. Will that inspirational hot streak continue? Will The Inspiration be able to defeat the Japanese representations in order to win the Global Force Tag Team titles? We will all find out. It is Giant versus Giant. Black Bart against Jeep Swenson. It's going to be a colossal tilt, and no telling who is going to be left standing when it's all over. But it's sure to be a war. And then it's Thena. We proceed on from there to the debut of Thena, the grand debut of Thena from the Eternals, as she will be in a Rest in Peace match with Howard the Duck. Then Rest in Peace match, which means there are no countouts, there are no disqualifications, and there will be a decisive winner by a pinfall or submission. Who's going to be left standing tall at the end of this Rest in Peace match? And we will all find out this Thursday. We will have some we proceed on from there to semi-final action of the Chaos Tournament, and proceed on from there to 10 versus 10 bragging rights tag team matches featuring the winners of the Survivor Series, Team Monday Night Raw. And it'll begin with one half of Team Raw featuring the Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro, WWE World Heavyweight Champion Big E, along with his 3 number 1 contenders, Lashley, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and along with Reggie, replacing Finn Balor, Austin Theory, MVP, and United States Champion Damian Priest. They will be taking on Savio Vega, Miguel, Jose, and Jesus of Los Boricuas, Rocky Maivia, D'Lo Brown, Kama Mustafa, and Farouk of the Nation of Domination, along with the Mountie and team captain Alberto El Patron. The 4 participants in that Fatal 4-Way WWE title match and RK Bro are using this as a warm-up for day 1. Unaware, they must survive this match in order to go to the grand finale match of Survival. So it'll be a double warm-up from my point of view. And the same could be said for the second half of the Monday Night Raw team. With Becky Lynch, the Beauty and the Queen, the Women's World Tag Team Champions, Carmella and Queen Zelina, with Doudrop, Tamina, 24/7 Champion Dana Brooke, Super Brutality, Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan will be taking on Ahmed Johnson, Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man, the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, the Natural Disasters, Typhoon and Earthquake, the Big Boss Man, 641 pounds of Yokozuna, and Flash Funk, along with a mystery partner that is yet to be determined. And as mentioned, we will have a Trios Tag Team match, Lucha Libre Trios Tag Action, regular Tag Team Action, and Atomico's Tag Team match featuring the Rough Riders versus the Stud Stable and the Rock and Roll RPMs. The Russians versus Hacksaw Jim. The Russians from IPWF versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Ranger Ross. Bella Dawson. The Runaways. He's in the Super Junior Tag Tournament Finals. The World Tag League Finals. The Bulldogs are in there. The Best of the Super Juniors Tournament. Bella Dawson is in there. The new Sarayaka Princess Paige Morgan. The GFW G1 Climax Final. Eli Drake and Mirko Krokop. The Young Bucks will face Los Parks. We proceed on from there to the 6 mega matches. 6 mega main events. First is the Thunderbolt Battle Royal. The Miz will be in ring number 1 while his wife, Maurice Mizanin, will be in ring number 2. They are furious as of what happened when they got the brood bath by Edge. So one of them could probably go on. One of them are heavily favored to win the Thunderbolt match and go on to the Royal Rumble and face whoever the GFW Global Champion is. We're getting ready to proceed on from there. to a match brought to you by Pizza Hut. Because the mouths will indeed roar inside Hell in a Cell. 4 people will get in, but only 1 will come out. Because the Reina de Reinas champion, Deonna Purrazzo, using this match as a warm-up for her Knockouts title rematch with Mickie James, as she will take on Finn Balor, the Kiss Demon, and the Wild Thing, the Japanese hardcore wrestling legend himself, the founder of hardcore wrestling himself, the one, the only, the Wild Thing, Atsushi Onita. Atsushi Onita has never been in a Hell in a Cell match, so that's a big first. Finn Balor has some experience in Hell in a Cell, so he'll have an advantage. And so, who's gonna... And Deonna has referred to these 3 as shameless mannequin has-beens, so that's an insult. So who's going to be left standing tall in the end of this Hell in a Cell tilt? We're going to find out on Thursday. Mark my words. And we proceed on from there. Because Destiny will hear them knocking, but only 1 will get in. That's right. This is for the GFW Global Championship. As the 2021 Jack and Dengeki Time Men's Invitational Casino Battle Royal winner and challenger, Christian Gray, will be taking on the reigning, defending, undisputed GFW Global Champion of the World, the Last in Motion, Novan. And I believe Christian Gray, my prediction is Christian Gray is going to bring that title back to the light. Because this Thursday, we will have a new GFW Global Champion, Christian Gray. And then we will have the finals, the championship finals of the 2021 Chaos World Championship Tournament. And for the WrestleMania Main Event Title Match Challenge Right Certificate to determine the number 1 contender for the GFW Global Title at WrestleMania 38. We saw it happen in 3 previous years. Here's Becky Lynch, Kat Hillard, and Fedor Emelianenko. Who will be next to seize this opportunity? And from there, it is the grand finale match of Survival for bragging rights. The survivors of the 8 tag team matches will go head-on-head, toe-to-toe, until there are ultimate survivors left standing tall in the end. And then it is down to the main event. 6 movies claiming to be the greatest, but only 1 team survives, and the survivor and 1 prize, a shot at the GFW Global Championship at AEW Revolution 2022 in Orlando, is on the line. 6 teams, 2 2 movies with animosity. I'm talking about Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, and Cool World as the teams. They have been in a long, long rivalry. And as with all things, as they always say, all good things must come to an end. That means that the rivalry between Cool World and Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country will fortunately be coming to an end. And because this will be the final battle. The final battle will be the 6-team and Arctic Frontier of Anarchy War Games match. And 4 other teams are in there. Home Alone 2, Problem Child 2, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, and Species from 1995. Those are the 6 teams. And they'll be paired up in a similar way. 2 teams of 8, 3 teams of 7, and 1 team of 4. The first period will last 5 minutes long. Let's go over the rules. The first period will last 5 minutes. We all know who's going to be in there for 5 minutes. Detective Frank Harris and Captain Hikaru Sulu. Second, third, fourth, and fifth periods will be 3 minutes, whilst all remaining periods will be 2 minutes. And after the first period ends, the head referee will flip a coin. And the movie team that wins the first coin toss will send in its first wrestler into the War Games, making it a triple threat. After the second period ends, the team which lost the coin toss sends in its first wrestler, making a fatal 4-way. After the third period ends, the first on-movie team that won the second coin toss will send in its first wrestler, making it a fatal 5-way situation. And after the fourth period ends, the on-movie team that lost the second coin flip will send in its first wrestler, making it a 6-pack challenge situation. And after the fifth period ends, yours truly, Nathan Wallace, will spin the wheel and make the deal. And whichever of the 6 movies will win the spin of the wheel will gain the man advantage by sending in its second wrestler into the field. Thus, that movie that wins the spin of the wheel will have the handicap man advantage and will maintain that throughout the War Games. And teams alternate during remaining periods until all required wrestlers are in. And then, at that point, the elimination match beyond begins. Eliminations can occur at any time by pinfall, submission, TKO, or surrender. No countouts, no disqualifications. Official time will be kept at ringside, and head referee will have final say in this special War Games match. And we got the first event covered. This event will be covered by GFW Network on pay-per-view TV, on iPay-per-view, CompuServe. AOL.com will recognize it as a special event iPay-per-view in Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, and N64 will recognize this as a sports special via the special events cartridge. The phone and the covering the event by phone will be Superstar Line option 5 and 8 and Telecan Communications, where they'll be chatting with all the winners and losers of the matches. And now, that's one event covered. We are preparing to proceed on to day 1. And it'll begin with the Raw Tag Team title match. RK Bro will face the Street Profits, the winners of the RK Tournament. Drew McIntyre, who got his Claymore back, will face Madcap Moss, the headhunt, and the partner in crime of Happy Corbin. Becky Lynch will defend the Raw Women's title against Liv Morgan. Edge will face The Miz. And as a result of what happened, and tensions are on between Edge and Miz after what Edge did to Miz, and gave them a brood bath. Gave Miz and Maurice the brood bath on Monday. So I expect tensions could be rising. And I can smell the next contender in there. Whoever wins this match will face either Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, or Lashley somewhere down the line. It is the Usos versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I ask you, who's going to win? Who's going to win in the Raw Tag Team title match? RK Bro or the Street Profits? Who's going to win the match between Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss? Who will win the Raw Tag Team title match? Is it Becky Lynch or is it Liv Morgan? Who's going to win the Legends tilt between Edge or Miz? Who's going to win the SmackDown Tag Team title match? Is it the New Day or is it the Usos? You decide. And then the fatal 4-way match for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Big E will defend the title against Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley. And who is going to walk out the World Heavyweight Champion and go to the Royal Rumble? This is a wild card match. Of course, we are on the road to WrestleMania 38, but this will be seen as a wild card. And the final match of this wild card event, the beginning of 2022, is for the Universal Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns will defend the title against Brock Lesnar. Now, with Paul Heyman will not be a factor and will not be involved in this match because he's contemplating his career is over. So, will it play a big factor of Roman Reigns losing the Universal title to Brock Lesnar? Or will Roman Reigns repeat what he did at Crown Jewel on Brock Lesnar? I ask you, who's going to win the Fatal 4-Way match? Is it Big E? Is it Seth Rollins? Is it Kevin Owens? Is it Bobby Lashley? Who's going to win the Universal Championship match? Is it Roman Reigns? Or is it Brock Lesnar? You decide. Okay? Then that is the preview of 2 big events that are coming up this week. And that's about it for this session. And I want to thank you guys for being a part of this stream. And on behalf of Weekly Wallace, Names Coliseum Video, Dreamweaver Weekly, Needswell Network, and GFW Network, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure and like and share this video. Don't forget to DDT the like button to like what you see. And on behalf of Weekly Wallace, Names Coliseum Video, Dreamweaver Weekly, Nate's Wow Network and GFW Network. I'm Nathan Wallace. It's good night, everybody, and enjoy GFW and Final Conflict 2021 in St. Louis this Thursday, and enjoy WWE's Day 1 pay-per-view in Atlanta, January 1st, 2022.